Yeah, we have a fantastic model. We call it the learning design, actually, where we have the student in the center, because we're thinking the student is, and we're believing into it, that the student is shifting from being a consumer to a creator. Around that, we have the 4 A's. We have the first A, it's the approach to learning, which talks about how we approach the mastery based learning. And then the second A is the architecture of learning, where he talks about the structure of our learning at our school, and I will go into that a little bit more deeper, all those A's. Then the third A talks about the academic character outcomes if a student leaves our school, how he or she looks like. Then at the fourth, the last one, is the art of teaching, because they rarely model they're talking about the teacher. We think the teacher is really important to focus on in that particular model. Also the leadership is really important to disrupt and to challenge as well, because the role of the teacher is really changing as well there. So going back to kind of the approach to learnings, we have there 3 different levels we'll be focusing on at our school, not only on a content level, which is the first C, but also on a contextual level, which means about application. And then the last level is kind of the conceptual level. So let me go in. So our students, when they're working on their content, they're leveraging a lot of like technology, which accelerate their learning process, but it only complements, because the human touch is still needed with the teacher. So they're still meeting the teacher, but less what they're doing in public schools. In public schools, they may meet them, let's say a math teacher, 7 to 8 hours, right? In our school, they're meeting them only for like 2 hours, and the rest they're working on their self-paced learning tack. So it could actually be that the second grader is already like in 6th grade math. Right, so that's a great thing to see. And what they're also doing on a content level, so they're meeting once a week with the lead advisor, and the lead advisor is actually kind of like, if I would talk in traditional terms, is actually the homeroom teacher, which takes care about each student and checks in what kind of goal he or she is achieving. It's kind of the accountability piece after a week, right? And the student is actually responsible to set his own goals based on like a 7-week schedule, and he has it on his weekly schedule, and he says, oh, here I'm doing math, here I'm doing science, and here that's what I want to achieve. And then after a week, they have to sit down with the lead advisor, actually, what I have accomplished, and reflecting on all these goals. Now that's kind of the first day, the approach to learning. And the content, so the second part is then in the afternoon, they're applying it in various projects. So that's a major difference, because usually you memorize the content and it's not meaningful to you at all. So you have to apply it to different contexts. So they're the whole afternoon, our students working on projects. And then they're connecting it also to concept, to big ideas. When I was at school, I was memorizing like Africa, the 40 whatever states they have. I remember today one state, it's Egypt, because I was on vacation there. If I would have learned about, say, the tribes, say, the culture, identity, etc., I would have connected that to a well that I would have developed in Africa, right? Then I could have talked like say about the well, say a business plan, to develop a business plan, in math about the mechanics, geometry, etc. So it could connect everything what I have learned. And that's kind of our approach to learning there. And then also in the assessment piece, after 7 weeks, those students have to present their project in front of an audience that they may know or not know. Last time it was a panelist that didn't know, and we could ask questions. And so we challenged them quite a bit in those approaches. So